In this episode, you will see how various hemp products are made. The oldest traces of hemp cultivation date back to Asia almost 12,000 years ago. From there, the plant made its way to Europe. Traditions of hemp cultivation in Poland date back to pre-Slavic times. Not only was the strength of hemp fibers appreciated, but also their medicinal, soothing, and relaxing properties. This is largely thanks to the so-called cannabidiol, abbreviated as CBD, a non-intoxicating organic substance used to treat many diseases. After decades of neglecting this extraordinary plant, companies have emerged to produce a whole range of products. CBD oils, herbal capsules, for example concentration, mood and immunity, food, including oils, hemp proteins and teas, cosmetics, such as ointments and bath balls, products for animals and textiles, quilts, hats and jumpers. To see what such production looks like, we visited the Kombinat Konopny in Gronów Górny, near Elbląg. The hemp plant is dedicated to rebuilding the Polish hemp industry. We have two plants. One produces dietary supplements that help people deal with stress. The second thing is the reconstruction of the textile industry. Hemp was a traditional raw material from which clothes were made in Poland. We are trying to rebuild this industry sector and show that you can make locally European fabrics and knitwear. It all starts in the field. As the plants mature, the laboratory gets to work. Its employees decide whether the harvest can proceed and assess whether the raw material delivered meets all requirements. The hemp is tested using a liquid chromatograph, which precisely indicates the content of all cannabinoids. In addition, the laboratory monitors the quality of the products at every stage. When all the parameters of the raw material meet the established standards, production can begin. We are in the herbal production hall. This is where the dried material used to produce CBD oils arrives. First, it is thrown into a mixer, and then oil is poured into the biomass. Everything is homogenized and, after this process, placed in bulk packaging, where, under the right conditions, a process called maceration takes place. After this, it travels under a hydraulic press, where the oil is pressed and filtered from the hemp oil feedstock. All the active compounds contained in the dried product, which are responsible for its calming and relaxing effects, migrate to it. This is how CBD oil is produced using a completely natural method. To produce 1 jar of CBD oil, 30 to 40 grams of dried CBD are used. The pomace remaining after the pressing process, which still contains therapeutic cannabinoids, goes into a capsule machine. Other extracts are added to them, and this is how completely plant-based CBD capsules are produced. It is possible to produce 360 of these per minute. Meanwhile, in the packaging department, the filtered oil is connected to a bottling machine. Here, the correct portions are measured into bottles, and a pipette and a stopper are fitted. The bottles are then labeled and placed in boxes. Around 2,000 bottles are produced from 80 kilograms of raw material. And now let's take a look at what textile production looks like at Kombinat Konopny. First, we take a look at the decortication hall, where the hemp straw arrives. 3/4 of it consists of chives, and 1/4 of it consists of fibers. After being opened in a special machine and pre-shredded, the straw from the bales is guided through the feed machine to the swingle. Here, 10 pairs of rollers are used to break the chive in the straw without damaging the fibers. The shive falls onto the bottom feeder and the fiber travels on. The machine was built at Kombinat Konopny, modeled on a machine from half a century ago, when Poland still had a well-developed hemp industry. On the tug, the fibers are opened and loosened to get rid of the remaining shive. This is assisted by several shakers tossing the raw material. What happens next with the shive? The shive goes via a belt conveyor to be ground, and then to the cleaning room and the packing press. The result is a clean shive for the construction industry and used as animal bedding. But let's return to textile production. We are now seeing the next stage of fiber opening. From here, part of the raw material goes to the spinning mills, and the rest is used to make the non-wovens familiar to all gardeners and allotment holders. They are created in several stages on a machine called a needle machine. The finished fleece is wound onto a bale. Meanwhile, the non-woven material has already been delivered to the spinning hall. After conditioning and aging, the hemp fiber is mixed with cotton, wool, or viscose. The mixture is first fed into a carding machine, which combs the fibers, i.e., arranges them parallel to one another. The result is the so-called ribbon. Several bands are joined and aligned in the stretching machine, and then fed to a spindleless spinning machine with 96 spinning modules. It forms the thread with a capacity of 10 kilometers per minute. Finally, the yarn is spun and waxed. The example of Kombinat Konopny shows us that it is possible to make effective use of plants that have not been exploited for decades, but are extremely valuable to humans, such as hemp seed, which has healed, nourished, and clothed humans for thousands of years.